Hey everybody, Nomalanga Mhlauli-Moses here with Shaquita Graham, and together we are Married Women's Business. You can find us at marriedwomensbiz.com. How are you doing today, Shaquita?
I am doing great after I've seen all of the memes that had me crying laughing. We'll share them on our platform in a minute, but go ahead.
So we're talking today about Black women because we've been seeing a lot of memes, we've been seeing a lot of Facebook posts and other social media where women are talking about, first of all, the march that happened this weekend. And then a lot of people are talking about, oh my goodness, did you see that? Melania looks like Donald Trump, or the new president is abusing her. There's a video that goes around where she looks scared. There's other videos where he gets out the car and leaves her as if she's not there, and then the Obamas are helping her. And there's a lot of memes going around where they just look very miserable and she looks scared, confused, and so on. So we are asking a very valid question of, number one, should Black women have been marching this weekend, and should Black women be concerned about Melania Trump? What say you, Shaquita?
I say hell to the no. No, listen, we just can't. We have too many issues of our own. I saw the crowds of white women at this march, and it verified everything that I've been telling people. Your child, your husband, your uncles, your daughters get slain in the street, and white women, the only place they march is to the jury box to select acquitted to the cops. And you don't see them when they really believe in something, like dogs. Like for Michael Vick, I saw all kinds of white women out here marching for those little dogs. But let me tell you, our kids get slain in the street, they're crickets. Their mom's the word. So we cannot afford to get involved in their issues. And there are so many of the people who champion the white feminist movement, or what they call the feminist movement, who are, their comments make them seem like white supremacists. And we'll go into that when we do the extended cut, but that's generally where I'm at.
But my thoughts are kind of similar to yours in the sense that I've been just thinking to myself as I see all this concern for the First Lady, the new First Lady. Oh, please, really, these are first world problems. These are white tears. Stop it. Leave her alone. She is fine. Trust me. And even if she's not fine, she's still in a better position than the position that we need to pull ourselves out of. So let's forget about her and focus on what we need to focus on. And the same thing goes for the march that was happening this past weekend. My thoughts were, I actually put up a post and I said, hey, y'all let me know when we're marching for Black families. I'll be there. In fact, I'll be there before time is up, promoting, talking about it, doing everything that I can to make sure that as many people show up as possible so that we can march for the upliftment of Black families. But for this one, no thank you.
And, the thing is that I love the display of how they can speak up when they get good and ready to, and there are so many people who fool themselves like, yeah, my white friend, she really feels bad about Trayvon. She doesn't feel like there's anything she can do. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever. And I just wanted to read, one of the quotes from one of the founders, or one of the leaders of the white feminist movement. One of the things she said, her name is Carrie Chapman Catt, and she was the founder of the League of Women Voters. And she said, white supremacy will be strengthened, not weakened, by women's suffrage. And that's just one of the many quotes that I will go into in the extended cut. And her basic premise is that, listen, we are all for white supremacy and we want to help you engage in this, and you give us the vote so we can do it. And also there were some comments, and I'm going to paraphrase from an article. People asked the question, will the Women's March on Washington be a space filled with participants who believe that Black lives matter? And that's what I want to know. All of those women out there marching, were there people who would say Black Lives Matter? And I'm not a part of the Black Lives Matter movement, and I don't co-sign it, but I do believe that Black lives are important and that we need to focus on strengthening and uplifting Black families in the Black community. And I just want people to think about all of that marching that they did. Do you think that those people care about Black lives?
Right. The other thing that I wanted to bring up when you when you are talking about things that non-Black women will march for, you try to take away abortion from them, watch them get fired up. Okay. They will be out there. They'll be speaking. It'll be on every channel because the new president signed something that had to do with abortion, although it's a little more complicated than people realize. But apparently the word was abortion. I mean, I've seen it on every channel. They're all talking about it. If it had been signed before the march, they would have been marching on behalf of that. They're so concerned about that. They're talking about it, writing about it, everything about it. And then we get silence when our issues are up on the table. And here's the other thing. There's people who say, well, you know, we wouldn't have all these rights as women if the women's movement hadn't taken place and so forth. But check it out. We're still complaining about issues that we saw people complaining about in the 1960s. Black people's issues, we're seeing those same issues today, maybe even worse. And you want to tell me that something that was done back then has helped us? How? I really want to know. I'm not being difficult in the sense that I'm just saying things to say them, but I really do want to know how. All I'm seeing is the opposite effect. I really am seeing the opposite effect. Even when I talk to Black women who genuinely say they love Black people and they want good things, they have some of that rhetoric from the feminist movement in their mind, which is counteracting some of the things that they say they want. So I really want to know exactly what it is that was accomplished and how marching this past weekend is moving us forward. Not everybody, specifically Black women, specifically Black families, specifically Black people.
Well, you know, listen, this is the same old thing, just a different day. And that's why I think we should focus on championing our own causes. That's why we have marriedwomensbiz.com. That's why we just released the Black Family Magazine. You can get a free copy at mwbshow.com. And, you know, I think that we should just take every opportunity to say, listen, we need to focus on our own issues. We need to uplift our own families. We need to uplift our own marriages. And we need to work together amongst Black women to bring our issues as a Black family, Black men and Black women to the forefront. Because when I look at the institutions that have been oppressing my people over the centuries, I only see really I see white men, white women, white children, and white identified Black people that have been, you know, taking part in the oppression. So I don't feel like I need to march with the same people who are aiding in my oppression. And, you know, I definitely, like I said, just think we should focus on ourselves and what can we do to make our marriages and our communities better.
Absolutely. And I'll make it plain. You want to know how we're marching? We're marching ourselves as wives to our homes and respecting, loving, uplifting, encouraging our husbands. That's the march that I will sign up for. You want to know how we're marching, specifically us and other women? We're concerned about the education of our kids. We're both homeschoolers. I'm not saying everybody has to homeschool, but that's where you can march. March yourself over there and take care of your kids and make sure that you're delivering to somebody a whole human being to take on as a spouse and build with, okay? That's another way that we're marching. You want to know another way that we're marching? We're always building. Shaquita just recently, a beautiful magazine for Black people that showcases Black people in a beautiful, beautiful way, okay? mwbshow.com. That's how she's marching. That's how we're marching. Married Women's Business, marriedwomensbiz.com, okay? That's how we're marching. Everything that we're doing it as our own march. So no, I don't need to go to Washington, D.C. with a picket sign and spend my day. In fact, I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave that to another day. I don't know who has that much time, okay? But I don't know why I would do that, okay? The marching doesn't have to be a literal march. You can march in the things that you do day in and day out, not one day after an election where you should have done a whole lot of other things. So you want to ask me about marching, that's how I'm marching.
And it's so, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's okay, go ahead.
Listen, you know, the thing is that it just seems like fake outrage to me, because 53% of the women, of white women, voted for Trump.
Yes.
And they kept that on the hush hush when you were in the cafeteria with Becky and them. They didn't say they were going to vote for Trump. They're like, yeah, the first.
And there's a meme, Shaquita, that we can share. There's a black woman with a lollipop in her mouth with a up. Sorry, I can't remember exactly the words, but we'll share it in our extended cut. And there's so many things that just show you, and there's other images that will show that there are some people who are awake and aware, and they're saying, oh, remember, the feminist movement was built on the back of black women, okay? And so we'll show you all these things because, you know, we've said it before and we'll say it again. There's a lot of restrictions when you're using other people's media and other people's platforms, and we respect that. And that's why we've built our own platform where we can say exactly what we want to say and show exactly what we want to show.
So, hey, look, I think you said it all, Noma. Visit us at marywomen'sbiz.com. Enroll or register at MWB TV, and you'll get to see all the extended cuts. And we have so many more wonderful offerings there. I want to thank you, Noma, for having this conversation. I thank you for all of the positive comments that people send to us, and I thank you for continually viewing.